I should always remember to add myself to the stream. Hello, guys. Good morning. Yes. What do we have here? Beer. Mmm. Delicious. Unfiltered wheat beer from Boulevard Brewing Company, Kansas City, Missouri. You got to support your homeboys here. Got to drink local. It's good beer, by the way. It's pretty good. I like it. And it's really a weird day, sort of, with the weather here in St. Louis. It's fairly warm. It's in the 70s, probably 80. And it's humid, cloudy, and it's just, yeah, it's kind of a different day. I mean, normally I'd be sleeping, but it's hot. But I haven't had the air conditioning on for a couple of days. So I know it's what do you, shut up, hamster. Shut up. What are you talking about, Elizabeth Holmes? Why? Why are you doing this? Well, this was an interesting thing. And in this clip, they do talk about what happened. But let me give it to you, the basic idea. So Elizabeth Holmes was a 19-year-old kid, and I think she went to Stanford University or college in California. And she came up with this idea. And it was a really good idea. Let's see if we can invent a machine that can take a very small amount of blood from a person and do all the testing that they need to do. Yeah, sounds great. Because if you've ever been in for a blood test, they take whatever they're checking for. They take, 3, 4, 5 vials. It's like, Jesus, could I have a little left for me? I mean, I kind of need it. But they take a bunch of blood, and some people don't like, needles. They put that plastic thing in there. Okay. So some people don't like it. And so she had a very good idea. No question about it. Hey, let's do this thing. Let's make a machine, take a little bit of blood. What did she call it? The nanotainer, I think. And we'll make this machine, and we'll test this blood, and it'll be great. Because people then, just a little bit of blood, get all the so on and so forth. The problem with this is that it didn't work. Okay. Now, one can ask the question. Now, Elizabeth Holmes was not trained, right? She dropped out. So she wasn't trained in chemistry or microbiology or organic chemistry or whatever the hell you have to take to become someone who is an expert in this, right? She didn't have the training. She's a very smart kid, though. I mean, she learned, Mandarin, probably classical pianist, played, all that stuff, right? Ballet, all that good stuff. And very smart person. And she had a really good idea, but the idea didn't work. Now, this company raised billions, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars from venture capitalists, right? They saw it. It's like, this is a great idea. Yeah, if this works, we're going to be billionaires. It's like, yeah, throw some money at it. And so a lot of people threw money at it. And the company had a board of directors, oddly, didn't involve any doctors or people who are experts in the field. It was other people, including, I think it was Jim Mattis, the defense secretary, was on that board. Was it Henry Kissinger also? I don't know. There were some people like that. Big wigs, but not medical bigwigs, right? And so they raised a bunch of money. She was the first self-made billionaire in Silicon Valley. She, the first female. So this is a big deal, right? I mean, if this would have worked, this literally, she's not wrong. This would have revolutionized humanity, right? Medical stuff. And it would have been great. And that's probably why the venture capitalists came in and said, you know what, if this thing goes, it takes some money. The problem was it didn't work. And I think the question at this point, when did Theranos and Elizabeth Holmes know that it didn't work? And they kept saying it's going to work or it does work or what. I don't know all the details. John Carreyrou from the Wall Street Journal, I think he was the one who exposed some of this stuff. Very interesting story. It's all over the internet. You can find it, look up all the details. I mean, she had this creepy voice that was fake, like, here's my real voice. But this is me, right? But she had this, I'm just, well, sure, you can change your voice like that. And she did, allegedly, because it made her, look more alpha or something, right? And she dressed up like Steve Jobs, with the turtleneck and all this. And she's charming as hell, right? Very charming. She's smart. She's attractive, very charming, right? But there's a dark side that, again, you go search a little if you're interested in this, but it's scary shit. Like, her voice was not, well, first they call you crazy, then they change the world. No, her voice was like a regular female voice, but she did it intentionally. There's some creepy shit here. But she and her boyfriend, Sonny, managed to convince people to invest all this money into this thing. So I suppose the question is, when did they know it didn't work? I don't know all the details, right? That's why we're having trials. Sonny Balwani and Elizabeth Holmes accused of some fraud and stuff. So that'll be worked out in court. But it's a very, very, very interesting story. Who fell for this? Did no one ask any questions? Why didn't they have doctors on the board of directors? You would think it's a medical company, right? They were trying to be doing medical stuff. Wouldn't you want some doctors, some experts? Well, maybe you wouldn't if you knew it didn't work. I'm saying. So here is the report from Reuters. Oh, let me preface. Who do you think she blames? Do I even need to point it out? Of course, it's not her. It's Sonny Balwani, her boyfriend. Oh, God.
The disgraced founder of the blood testing startup Theranos plans to accuse her ex-boyfriend of abuse during...
Mm-hmm. No free will, no culpability, no accountability. Blame the boyfriend.
her fraud trial.
Now, how do you prove? How do you prove if you're Sonny Balwani? How do you prove you didn't do this stuff? Well, you can't, can you? Me too, anyone? Yes?
That's according to legal papers published on Saturday. Lawyers for Elizabeth Holmes said they plan to present evidence that Ramesh Balwani abused her emotionally and psychologically in a relationship that spanned more than a decade.
Blame the man. Because that's the easy way out, isn't it? Blame someone else. He abused me emotionally. Yeah. How do you prove that or disprove that? Well, you can't, see. Isn't that nice?
During that time, her company claimed its technology could enable a wide array of medical tests with a few drops of blood.
And it would have been a fantastic thing if it had worked. The question is, when did they know it didn't work?
Theranos collapsed in March 2018 when she, Balwani, and the $9 billion company were charged with fraud by US regulators.
Did no one in Silicon Valley, no venture capitalist who was investing in this company, did they not ask the question? For one, the question I would have is, well, that's good, Ms. Holmes. How come no one has thought about this before? You think maybe somebody has looked into this at some point? Intrusive blood, pulling out a gallon of blood to get some blood tests. Do you think maybe someone has looked into this? I would think so. And how come we do not have it? Well, Hamster, what are you talking? We didn't have an iPhone 20 years ago. See? Well, we did have a telephone for 100 and some years. Right? Just a matter of expanding. In the history of medicine, nobody has come up with a way to test blood with a drop. Why is that? Maybe because it can't be done. Nobody even asked the basic questions. I mean, that's what I would have said. Look, this seems like a really good idea, but, give us something. Give us something. No. wouldn't provide how the thing worked or if it worked, but as we found out over time, they fought. Well, we have all these patents and shit, and we don't want to, if we give that away, we're going to give the patents away. It's like, okay. Or maybe someone knew it didn't work. Just curious. Why no one asked the question? Oh, well, Elizabeth has a great idea. Yes, she does. It was a fantastic idea. One has to wonder why someone didn't think of it before. I mean, even a rube like me, I know nothing about organic chemistry. Sure, it'd be great if you could test blood, like a little drop, and you get the whole lot. So, yeah. But it doesn't work. Unfortunately. I wish it would. I wish she would be 100 billionaire right now. Make this thing work. Advance medicine among humanity. Help people. Yeah, all that would be great. But it didn't work.
Both Holmes and Balwani, who was president of the startup,
by the way, let's blame the man.
have pleaded not guilty to charges they defrauded investors, doctors, and patients.
Not only defrauded money, I mean, that's one thing, and that's bad. But there were people relying on this for their health, their life, right? I think it was one of the grocery chains, like I'm not sure which one, but Safeway or Walgreens or something, that invested a ton of money to put these testing centers in their stores so people go in there, give a couple drops of blood, get the results back, right? Okay, you have diabetes, or we see some thing in your blood here that might be pointing to that sort of thing, right? But it didn't work.
The court filings, submitted more than 18 months ago, hint at a possible defense strategy for...
Hi, Elizabeth. How you doing? Say, I got something in my pants here I want to show you. You want to see it? All the girls I've been with just loved it. I think you might like a little, try on it myself. How you doing?
Holmes, with jury selection in her fraud trial set to start next week.
I bet Bill Clinton does have a boner here, though. Well, what is he, 85 years old? Maybe he can't, but yeah. I don't know. Elizabeth, I got some of that AstroTurf here in my truck. You want to go try it out?
The filings indicate Holmes intends to blame Balwani, alleging he exerted control over her through the abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sure. Right. Yeah. Claim something that can be neither proven or disproven. Yeah, that's what happened. It was horrible. Yeah, and you were in a relationship with him for 10 years. Oh, well, if he was such an asshole, such a manipulator, Elizabeth, why then would you be with him? Just curious.
Thus raising the question of whether she knew that financial information provided to investors and others was false.
Like I said, financial information is one thing. But claiming that your thing is working and people are relying on that for their lives, that's a whole other can of worms, man. That's serious. But here we are. Blame the dude. Eric Zumbro. Yeah, watch the documentary. Yeah, I did. It's like I said, we can't go into the whole thing here. And I don't know, top to bottom, cross the I's, dot the T's, everything. But it's really deep. John Carreyrou, the journalist there's all kinds of stuff out there if you're interested in this. Now, this trial is going on right now for, I guess, fraud or whatever they're accused of. But her defense, his fault. Okay. As a matter of fact, I will put this just for you guys in the chat. But yeah, go look this up. It's a fascinating situation. All right. I might think of something else to talk about later. What the hell? I'm supposed to be working. Fark it. This is more fun. See you guys. Bye.